What's up, everyone? It's Kadi with MoneyVest. So I finally pulled the trigger on this ETF, finally have exposure in this sector, in this industry, something that I have never had any exposure in. I've never owned any stocks in this particular sector for the long term. Of course, I've traded stocks in this industry, but as always, if you enjoyed this video, find it helpful, make sure that you drop a like. I would really appreciate that. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Would really mean the world to me, as of course, your support is really important. So link's going to be down below for our MoneyVest community, for our Discord, for our Patreon. There is still a 16% annual discount that I've extended for a couple more days if you're interested in joining, and of course, getting access to all the members only private videos, all the spreadsheets, all the buy and sell alerts, options alerts, trade ideas, all the Discord channels, and being able to engage and connect with over thousands of investors and traders globally. So again, link's going to be down below. We'd love to have you on board over there. And also do connect with me on Instagram. My handle is going to be CastWRP if you want to get access to some behind the scenes, some other portfolio updates, and some interesting stories and polls and tips and strategies. I do post a lot of videos over there as well. So link's going to be down below for that. So finally picked up cybersecurity ETF called CIBR. So sent out an alert for all the community members. And again, if you want to understand the reasoning, the entire thesis, and also keep track of how much I'm buying and when I'm buying in the future, because I do plan on buying a lot more, a lot aggressively for this ETF in the future. Again, link's going to be down below. You'll get live updates on what's going on with my position. So CIBR is the first trust nasdaq cybersecurity ETF, and it is designed to track the nasdaq CTA cybersecurity index, right? So it's designed to track the performance of companies engaged in the cybersecurity segment of the technology and industrial sectors. Now, the reason why cybersecurity is because it is, in my opinion, one of the top tech trends of the next decade, along with, of course, artificial intelligence, along with cloud, advertising, and of course, not to mention semiconductors. I mean, these are some sectors I believe have the most potential for growth as the world becomes more and more technologically advanced, and of course everything is moving digital. Cybersecurity is going to have a very important role to play, as of course the threat, the vulnerabilities, the hacks are only increasing. It's only gotten worse over time as the world has moved more towards technology, and a lot of these companies are there to protect businesses and individuals, and they're doing everything in their power with new technologies to once again protect data, protect financial, confidential, sensitive information that is very important to us as individuals and businesses. So I strongly believe that this is one of the best sectors to be in over the next 10 years because of the potential that it has and the massive technology, a massive total addressable market that it carries. So CIBR is, again, cybersecurity fund type offered by First Trust Advisors. Again, $20 was the net asset value in the beginning. Dividend per share is about just under 1%, so it's again quite reasonable. But really, what I'm interested in is kind of having a sort of a ETF that has a lot of individual stocks and companies, which I'll go over in one single wrapper, right? So that was kind of like the main focus of getting one of these ETFs. Of course, there's one more. I think BUG is another one. So Bug Global X Cybersecurity ETF is another one. But I did look into this one as well. Kind of very similar pattern. But I think the expense ratio was a little bit different. The yield is a little bit lower, and the volume is really low compared to CIBR. So CIBR, of course, is more heavily traded because, as you'll notice, Bug only 173,000 shares, whereas CIBR is close to 500,000 shares on a 30-day basis. So volume's a little bit better for CIBR compared to BUG, and slightly better dividend yield for this as well. Now, when it comes to the valuation, it is surprisingly quite reasonable. 28 times earnings multiple for this ETF as a whole, 5.7 times book price to book, cash flow 21 times, and price to sales a little bit under 4. And this right here are some of the top holdings in this ETF. All these companies we've talked about on the channel. I've done specific videos and analysis on these companies. Broadcom, absolutely. Cisco, CrowdStrike, of course. We got Infosys. I separately own Infosys in my Indian portfolio as well. Palo Alto Networks, of course. Okta, we've done an analysis on this. Sentinel-1, ticker symbol is S, I believe. Fortinet, of course, as you already know, is one of my favorite companies. CyberArk, we haven't analyzed yet, so maybe this is a stock that we may want to look into a little bit more. And Zscaler, absolutely. I mean, we have obviously analyzed this on the channel as well. So for the most part, Zscaler, Fortinet, we've got Okta, we've got Palo Alto Network, and CrowdStrike. These were the 5 main cybersecurity stocks that I really wanted to own. And this wrapper, this ETF, basically allows for all of them in one single sort of ETF, along with Infosys, Cisco, Broadcom, Sentinel-1, and CyberArk. And if you do the math, I believe I did that earlier, but 12, 17, we're looking at around 18 plus another 10, 20, 30. Then of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got another 18. So we're looking at another 40 to 50%. Half of the portfolio is kind of made up of just these 8 to 10 companies over here. And I think overall, the ETF has close to 30 holdings overall, 32 holdings. So this right here is the number of holdings excluding cash. So 32, and just 8 of them make up almost 40 to 50% of the entire ETF, and total net assets are just over $5.7 billion dollars, and of course, right now the closing market price $51 per share. And this right here is the performance against the actual index that it's tracking, which is the CTA NASDAQ cybersecurity ETF. You'll notice a little bit of that underperformance, and that's due to the fees, because it does carry about 60 basis points in expense ratio, which again is the annual management fee that it carries right now, which is somewhat reasonable and pretty average and pretty normal for an actively managed ETF that is in the cybersecurity space. So if you come over to the technical analysis, and what I basically mentioned is a small starting position for this. So I've not really obviously gone in too heavy. This is not like I'm going all in at these prices, because I fully understand and am aware of the overbought conditions and the fact that we've rallied so much already. So this is certainly not a favorable position to be starting a new sort of position here, not a favorable place or price to be starting a new position in, because of the overbought conditions, RSI coming down, MACD coming down pretty aggressively. So what I've noticed is, of course, it's making a double top. So this right here is a resistance where it's coming up to very, very strong resistance in and around that $53, $54 level. So that is going to be a very, very strong area of supply for CIBR. And that's exactly where we are getting rejected. And support level right now is going to stay put right over here. So this is going to be that next support level to watch, somewhere between $47 and $48. And the reason I say that is because that's exactly where we have validated in the past. And that also acted as a little bit of that resistance, that once again acted as a little bit of a support, acted as a resistance over here. So we've kind of been back and forth in and around that range, which once again acted as a little bit of resistance over here before finally breaking out above that level. So if we continue to see some more pullback and some more downside, and for the RSI to come down, settle in at around 30s, MACD to come down, then $47, $40 inside this green rectangle is the level that I'm watching as first support level to dollar cost average a little bit into. And then, of course, a much, much better and a stronger support at $37, $38. That would be ideal for me right over here, all the way down in this green rectangle. That's kind of in line with where we were back in October of 2022 before we actually started this huge rally. And since then, of course, the price has, I believe, more than doubled, or actually gone up 48, 50%. So just about 50% increase since its October lows. So there you have it. Cybersecurity, finally have a little bit of exposure. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And my plan is very simple. Similar to SMH, similar to VOG, and now finally with CIBR, we're consistently looking to dollar cost average into this ETF, as I do believe, like I said, the long-term potential that this sector, this industry carries. And of course, a lot of individual stocks that I want to own are also part of this entire ETF that I believe have a lot of potential long-term as well. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and what are you planning to do with cybersecurity? Are you buying individual stocks, or are you looking at ETF? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, if you enjoyed it, found it helpful, make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're just joining us for the first time, and also do connect with me on Instagram. My handle is going to be CASWRP, and that's 16% annual discount that's available until a couple more days for New Year's for 2024. So as always, happy investing, and I'll see you all in the next video.